So the Purim goes through what's called the Megillah of Esther. Esther is the book, the Bible book. Megillah is a scroll or the story the story of Esther. And there's a picture of Barbara with an actual scroll of just the book of Esther, right? So we have the Torah, that's the first 5 books of Moses, and it's scrolled out, but this is a scroll just of the book of Esther in its scroll form. So the Megillah. And so sometimes there's a saying, so if you're talking about something and let's say they're telling a whole story, a long story, they're telling you every detail of the story, they told you the whole Megillah, right? They told you the whole thing, right? And we're not going to tell you the whole story tonight, so there's more in the Bible, so you want to go home and read the book of Esther. We're just going to kind of briefly go through it in a fun and enjoyable way, but to get the whole details and the seriousness of it, feel free to check out the book of Esther itself. Purim's a fun time, so lots of fun songs.
Come along to the Purim ball. You'll have fun if you're short or you're tall. Wish your neighbor a Chag Sameach right here at our own Purim ball. Shalach manot, we give those we meet, a gift from our hearts, a gift that is sweet. And ham and tashe we love to eat, they're one of our favorite treats.
Oh, we are the people who've come to the ball. We're very mysterious people. We're all from Shoshana, what a surprise, right here at our own Purim ball. Mordechai and Zika, Ashverosh, Vashti and Haman and Esther. Here's the Megillah and there we are, all waiting for brothers and cheers.
Come along to the Purim ball. You'll have fun if you're short or you're tall. Wish your neighbor a Chag Sameach right here at our own Purim ball.
As they are passing out the groggers, I'll explain to you what a grogger is for and when to use it, and maybe more importantly, when not to use it. And if you misuse your grogger, you will lose the privilege of grogging, okay? All right, so no grogging at an inappropriate time. All right, so a grogger is used specifically. There's a name that comes up throughout the book of Esther, throughout the Purim story, that we don't want to remember anymore, and that we want to drown out and blot out and stamp out of existence. All right? So when you hear that person's name, we're going to grog. Now, not yet. We're going to wait till everyone gets their groggers, and we're going to practice together, but I'll show you a little bit on how to do it. It takes a little bit of experience and expertise. But it's kind of like tennis. It's all in the wrist, all right? So you want to, now if you do it too much, you can get carpal tunnel. So be very careful not to overdo it. But the proper amount with the proper zing to it is what you want to get, okay? So I'll show you a little bit how, after years and years of experience, I've perfected it. All right, so that's it, okay? All right. Okay, but you're doing it at the wrong time because I haven't given you the name. We didn't say the name. You didn't hear the name. All right, so you have to wait till you hear the name, and that's when you do it, right? And that's when you grog very vigorously. You can stomp your feet. You can boo. You can yell, and just to have at it. Okay. All right. So are all the groggers grogged out, given out yet? Okay. All right. We ready? One up, a couple up here. Come up here, girls. Girls up here. Come up here. Oh, middle row here. Come on up here. Now, after we're done, we need our groggers back for next year's Purim, okay? So this is just a loan. These are loaner groggers, okay? All right? And if you want to get your own, you can probably go to grogger.com or something and get a grogger there. Okay. All right. Okay, so ready. So when you hear the name hamburger, no, not hamburger. No, there's no hamburgers in the book of Esther. Okay? So let's try that again. Okay? When you hear the name Hamantashen. No, not Hamantashen, right? We'll tell you about Hamantashen a little bit later on in the service. But when you hear the name Hyman, boo! Right. All right, very good. Okay. All right, does anyone have a broken grogger? Is everyone's grogger working okay? All right. You need another grogger? That one's broken? All right, they need another grogger back there. You can bring a grogger to them. Okay. All right, we're going to give it another try and another practice. Ready? On three. 1, 2. Haman! Boo! All right, very good. Okay. So that'll be your participation. And so you can grog nice and loud and long. Now, there is one part in the play where there's a song about this guy. And so during the song, because they can't pause for the song, the music goes along. So boo and grog kind of short then, so they can go on with it. And you'll hear the rest of the song and not miss the song. All right, so during that time, just give a short boo, a short grog, okay? All right, so with that, a short grog, a short boo. Boo! Boo! Okay, right. That's a short grog boo. Okay? All right. Very good. So we are ready, I think, to bring up our characters. Right? I can't think of a better term. Not yet? Oh, there's some music. Right. I'm sorry. So with that. Oh, wait. I'm sorry. Before that, I should explain, because every year we get a little feedback about why we do what we do with Purim. Why, because we're going to see we're doing Dr. Seuss Purim, and one person already Facebooked us that's sacrilegious, so. But in the book of Esther, it tells us to celebrate this time and to rejoice during this time and have a festive time during this time. So we want to laugh, we want to have festivities, we want to rejoice during it, which is really interesting when you think, we're talking about a time when we were very close to being totally annihilated. Very quickly and very easily, they would have had it over and done very quickly, much quicker and easier than Hitler tried at the Holocaust. And yet God stepped in and stopped it. And so we're laughing about that, which is, pretty unique. There's a time to mourn, right? We mourn over the Holocaust. We have Holocaust Remembrance coming up soon too, and we will mourn at that time. But with the Purim, God did a total deliverance. He delivered us from the Holocaust too, right? We're still here. We have survivors. We'll have a survivor come and speak with us. So we can be thankful for that. But God totally, completely delivered us in the Persia and in the Esther story. So we rejoice and laugh and rejoice over that. And it's really kind of amazing, that from all the way back, you go way, way back. From the Pharaohs and to the Hamans, boo, to the, Hitlers, and all down through the ages, how many, time and time again, they've tried to annihilate us and kill us or enslave us, and they haven't successfully done it, and you'd think they'd learn that, well, maybe I'll pick another group, right? But they do, they hate a lot of groups, no doubt that, but the specific targeting of the Jewish people for such a long extended time, especially for a total annihilation, and it's still talked about today, even in halls of Congress today, which is pretty amazing, and they haven't learned. Don't mess with that group, don't mess with God's people. God has proven over and over and over again that he's got a purpose and a plan for us, and he's not going to allow us to be total martyrs, along the way, but he's not going to allow us to be totally annihilated. And so again, it's amazing that the haters haven't learned that lesson yet. So we laugh at that and we rejoice at that, and we give thanks of God's provision, of God's safety, and of God's sustaining us down through these ages. So also, secondly, so we're rejoicing, but also secondly, in the book of Esther, there is somebody missing in the book of Esther, or at least the name is missing in the book of Esther. And it's the only book in the Bible that the name is missing. And that is the name of God. God is not listed at all in the book of Esther. Now, he's there, right? He's there very clearly. He is there. But he's hidden. And so during this time, we dress up and are hidden, right? So you can't recognize us. So we are hidden also. And so we do the play in a hidden way. And so we dress up in hiding, but still here, right? We're here, but we're in hiding, right? As God was there, but in hiding. And as we go through struggles in life, sometimes it seems like God is not there. Right? People say, where was God in the Holocaust? You know, sometimes it seems like he's not there, but he is there, right? He did deliver us. We have survived. Again, some martyrs down through it, but that's not the end, right? Heaven is our goal. And so he is there. He is there all the time. He will never leave us nor forsake us. And so we remember that as well. And so with rejoicing and fun, and it helps us to remember the story and doing it in a little different way, in a fun way, and hiding under God. Okay, so with that little explanation, hope we can enjoy the story of Esther. So now let's try our music.
Welcome to Purim, Dr. Seuss's Purim this year. I want to introduce you to our, well, not entirely to our cast, but you're going to find out who's who in the shoe. So, our scene director is Abigail. Whoops, I'm not telling names. I'm not supposed to tell names. Our scene director
It's the leopard.
is that lady right there.
The leopard.
Is the leopard person. Okay, and then Big Thon is thing 2. Go to your position. Teresh is thing 1. King Ashu is Fox in Socks. Esther, Queen Esther this year is Cindy Lou, but we know her as Esther Lou Shoe. Zeresh, no, I'm going to skip her for right now. Vashti is Sally from The Cat in the Hat. And you may recognize Mordecai. He's Horton, the elephant. Horton hears a who. Go to your position, sir. And Haggai or Harbona. We've combined the part into two to Sam I am. I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them, Sam I am. And now, Zeresh, the wife of the really bad guy. You know the really, really bad guy? Haman. Is Jane Kangaroo. She's the one who didn't want to pay attention to the Who's voice. And tonight, Haman is naturally the Grinch. And I am your narrator, the Cat in the Hat. Are we seated comfortably? Then we shall begin. Long, long ago, before you knew you were you, there was a town known as Shoeville, home of Mordecai Horton, the Shoe Jew. Morty Horty the Jew, he served a great king, a king with a quite lovely but arrogant queen.
My dearest Sally Vashti, please come dine at my table. Hurry, get dressed up. Do this if you're able.
Hoo-hoo to you and your fugly fart party. Hoo-hoo to you and your fugly food wine. I'll stay in my chambers, which suits me just fine.
Please come, my darling. We have green eggs and lamb.
I do not like green eggs and lamb. I do not like green eggs and lamb. Now run off and leave me, you great big ham.
Well, all the shoe women had heard the queen's words, and all the shoe men they suddenly feared. Oh, what if our wives now act like her? The king, in his perplexement, summoned his aid. He quickly needed to fix the mess he had made.
Sam I am, Haggai, remove her. Make her queenie no more. Help me to figure out how to even this score. I need a new queen. Me alone is a bore.
Fear not, O king. Let us hold a parade. One full of beautiful maidens and even shoe slaves. Then from these you can choose a new queen of the shoes, and with her, then all the shoes will be saved.
The king liked this new notion. It made him quite glad. He was eager to get rid of the dull queen he now had. Scene 2. I know we didn't do one. I'm so sorry. You can run twice. Good job. Well thought. Let's hear it for her, the scene girl. Now, back to Morty Horton, who had a niece, Esther Lou, a beautiful girl who was also a Jew. He hated to pester this lovely girl, Esther, but Morty Horton had gotten an idea in his head. Last night, while thinking, as he lay in his bed.
My dear niece, go now. Join the king's parade. Show all those in Shoeville what a girl God has made. Yes, my dear one, I'm sure the pageant you will win. Then the king shall pick you, and you'll be wedded to him. Just don't let King Ashufox and Socks know you are a Jew. We don't want to have anything happen to you.
You're insecure, don't know what for. You're turning heads when you walk in the door. You need makeup to cover up. Being the way that you are is enough. Everyone else in the room can see it. Everyone else but you. Girl, you light up the world like God told us to. And when you share your heart, you put me on my knees. But when you smile at his word, it ain't hard to tell. You don't know, you don't know you're beautiful. If only you could see what I can see. Understand why God loves you so desperately. Right now I look at you and I can't believe you don't know, you don't know you're beautiful. God made you beautiful. So come on, you got it wrong. To prove I'm right, I put it in a song. You only try, I don't know why. And you turn away when I look into your eyes. Everyone else in the room can see it. Everyone else but you. Girl, you light up the world like God told us to. And when you share your heart, you put me on my knees. But when you smile at his words, it ain't hard to tell. You don't know, you don't know you're beautiful. If only you could see what I can see, you'll understand why God loves you so desperately. Right now I look at you and I can't believe you don't know, you don't know you're beautiful. God made you beautiful. Whoa. You don't know you're beautiful. You don't know you're beautiful. God made you beautiful.
Very well, Uncle. Though I am afraid, I will go join in the Shoeville parade.
So Esther Lou agreed with what her uncle decreed and went to make ready that her beauty could exceed. Scene 3. Now, let us turn to a new side of this tale. Let us speak of Haman, Grinch, a shoe as green as Shoeville shoe kale. When I say his name, you must boo without fail. Shake your groggers against his foul, vile name every time I say, Haman. Yes, again and again. Every shoe down in Shoeville loved Morty Horton a lot, but Haman, the Grinch, he most certainly did not. You're one, Haman Grinch. You really are a hero.
You're as cuddly as a cactus. You're as charming as an eel.
You're a bad banana with a greasy black peel.
You're a monster, Haman Grinch. Your heart's an empty hole. Your brain is full of spiders. You've got garlic in your soul, Haman Grinch. a vile one. Haman Grinch, you have termites in your smile. You have all the tender sweetness of a seasick crocodile. Haman Grinch.
Given the choice between the two of you, I choose the seasick crocodile.
You're a foul one, Haman Grinch. You're a nasty, rusty skunk. Your heart is full of one-horse socks. Your soul is full of gunk. Haman Grinch.
The three words that best describe you are as follows, and I quote: stink, stank, stunk. So, off the king went to judge the parade. The shoes did their best, the king to persuade. But Esther Lou caught the king's twinkling eye, and he chose Esther Lou. And we all know why.
Oh my, she is lovely and polite as can be. With her at my side, I won't miss Sally Vashti.
Scene 4. Meanwhile, at the palace, two of the king's guards were thinking, I'm sorry, two guards of the king were thinking of doing a most horrible thing.
Facing one, Cherish, let's go murder the king.
Sounds good to me, thing too, Big Tan. Let me go get my sling.
Good thing for the king was that Morty Horton had heard. He shivered and shuddered at the most awful words.
Oh no! This is awful. It simply can't be. The guards must lock up those two evil things.
He whispers to Sam-I-Am.
Oh, no! What's gonna do?
Who gets the king's ear? Whispers the bad news, and the king then declares,
Very well, let them be taken, thing one and thing two. And now I'm off to the palace with my new wife, Queen of Shu.
And so Sam-I-Am took those evil things away, yet the king had no clue Morty Horton had saved the day. Scene 5. Haman, the Grinch, however, was promoted way up. Furball. He even sat by the king and drank from his cup. The king's choices pleased Haman. The Grinch, of course, Grinch did not know that the shoe the king picked was a Jew, head to toe.
I cannot stand Mordecai Horton or any of those Jews. After all, this is Shoeville, home strictly to shoes. Those Jews gather on their Sabbath, praying and singing. Then all the Jew women dance with jingler bells ringing. They sing and they dance for who knows what reason, over and over, like some holiday season. Somehow I must rid Shoeville of the Jew, Mordecai Horton. Yes, I need a plan to make that Jew die.
If you do, my husband, please. If you do, my husband, please let me know. I do not like him either. He really must go. We could cage him and beat him into bezeebly soup, then feed him to lions, a big angry group. Or perhaps I'll make gallows and hang each in the loop.
The 13th of Adar was now soon coming. Haman, Grinch stood there with his fingers drumming, and slowly a wicked plot in Grinch Haman's head was a-running.
I'll tell the king, if shoes don't bow before me, they should be boiled on baobab branch tea, or maybe, just maybe, I'll listen to you, Zeresh Jane Kangaroo.
Woo-hoo, my dear husband, that sounds really grand. In fact, my dear husband, let me lend you a hand. I have some gallows where these Jews can hang. Then we can celebrate and hang the whole gang.
Scene 6.
Dear king, gracious king, a favor I need. Tell every shoe down in Shoeville to bow down to me.
Now, that nasty old Grinch Haman, he did this as a game. He knew that no Jew shoes would bow down to his name. You see, Jew shoes only bow to Hashem in that way. The king did not know about Haman. Grinch's mean plot. So he agreed to it, right there, on the spot. Scene 7. Mordecai Horton had heard Haman, the Grinch's vile plot, so he ran to Queen Esther Lou, for she knew not.
Oh, my niece, our people are in really big trouble. You must speak to the king before things come to full bubble. I know that by asking, I put you at risk, but there's no other way. Please say you'll do this.
Of course, my dear uncle. If I perish, I do. The Jews, my people, mean all to me too. Go back home and tell them, for 3 days, fast and pray. I just know Hashem will provide in some way.
Scene 8. Esther Lou was nervous, but she proved she was brave. She went to the king, though he hadn't called her today. She could die from her fright. She could die from his anger. But still she went to him to invite him to dinner. And there right before him, though her death could be ordered, he liked her so much that instead he called for her. She invited them to a lavish banquet to be made for the king and for Haman. The Grinch on the very next day.
Oh, king, thank you. And Haman. And Grinch, too, for coming to eat at this foodie shoe do. Now, please let me ask you just once more, my dear king, would you two attend another foodie shoe thing? I would be so happy if you both would join with me, and then we can have a real fun Shoeville foodie.
Will there be green bagels and lox?
Would you like green bagels and lox?
Yes, I would like green bagels and lox.
Shall we eat them here or there?
We can eat them anywhere. I would eat them in my socks. I would eat them in a box. I would like them in a house. I would eat them with a mouse. I could eat them in the rain. I could eat them on a train. I would like them with a goat. I would like them in a boat. I would eat green bagels and lox because you see, I'm the fox in socks.
C9. This story may seem at the moment quite dark, but as you will see, one night there came a bright spark. After that banquet, the king could not sleep, so he called in Sam-I-Am, who came quickly to read.
Sam-I-Am Haggai, I cannot sleep not even one little wink. Please read me my chronicles. That shall help me, I think.
O king, from Teresh thing 1 and Big Then thing 2, a man saved your life. From death did he save you.
Did I reward him or pay him a favor?
No, king, you did not. I thought you were waiting till later.
The king and Haggai Sam were still standing there talking when Haman, the Grinch himself, into the room came a-walking.
Haman Grinch, how to reward a shoe who saved me so grand? I need some help. Please tell me, what would you plan?
Haman, the Grinch, thought the talk was all about him. So he came up with a way for the king to exalt him.
O king, you should have him dressed in your crown and robes. Have him led on a horse for all to know. And as he should lead him, he should holler and shout, "This shoe is the king's greatest, of that there is no doubt."
The king was so pleased. He turned to Grinch Haman to say,
That sounds great. Do that for Morty Horton, and you lead his way.
Haman, the Grinch, frowned a great frown, but did as he was told. Now that more than ever his Grinch heart grew more cold. Scene 10.
This shoe is the king's greatest, that there is no doubt. This king is the greatest, of there is no doubt? Come on, really, this guy? It should have been me all this time. Why is it him?
Mordecai.
Really, this shoe is the king's greatest, there is, of no doubt. This is the king's greatest, of this there is no doubt. This is the king's greatest, of there is no doubt.
Yay, Mordecai. Yay, Mordecai. Oh. Scene 11. The next day came, and the feast they both attended. It seemed like the eating never had ended.
Thank you, king. My, what a feast! With shoe-ficular wine, with a fine shoe roast beef, your Queen Esther lose a great gem, to say the least.
'Tis true, my friend, yet my wife looks forlorn. Esther Lou, speak, my dearest, you're looking so torn.
My king, I must tell you something quite bad. It grieves me to tell you, but your comrade, Grinch Haman, he is literally, completely mad. He hates all of my people. You see, I too am a Jew. He wants them all killed, so he'll kill me too.
King Ashu Fox and Haman, the Grinch, were both quite surprised. Both quite surprised. They were both quite surprised. There we go. Okay. But of course the king would take his queen's side. This Haman, he knew it, so he fell down to beg. But to his dismay, King Ashu-Fox said,
Take Grinch Haman, Samai Haggai, and Jade and Kangaroo too. Do what I said. Take them far, far from all shoes.
Mordecai Horton, Esther Lou, and every Jew were almost safe. They still needed a way to defend their place, for the edict, you see, could not be erased.
None of you shoes shall need to die. I decree you make yourselves weapons. Shout, scream, and cry. Defend yourselves, for I'm the king, and what I say is law. A person is a person, no matter how small.
Uncle, we proved Hashem saved us. It has gone well. Mordecai Horton, will you write the story to tell?
Yes, so forever, Jews remember our win. I declare a holiday.
Yay! Let's call it Purim.
Cast. Go down on that end.